Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of WIZLAND with Wiz. Happy to be with you guys today, man. It is officially Tuesday, 1:49, May 3rd. Happy to be with you guys. The reason I started doing the podcast right now is because I'm creating content right now. If you see these tags right here, you listen to this on the podcast on Apple and whatever the case is, you can't see this. But if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to see it under WIZLAND. I have different tags on the wall right now. So if you take a look at these are basically styles of um, different art styles that I am going to draw. Doctor Strange, like basically, there's a thing in the art community where people and just artists in general draw different characters or a particular character in different styles. So that's what this is for. And I'm doing that right now. So I'm drawing, and I was like, you know what, might as well just do the podcast because I do want to start this off right. Like I stated, I am committed to doing at least an episode, at least minimum 30 minutes. The first one was 18 minutes, to be honest, and I was fucking nervous, man. I was really nervous about it because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to kind of like whatever the case is. But these cameras kind of intimidate me. But I think I'm getting better. I think that going forward, I'll be able to kind of get the hang of it. Right now, I stopped and I've been looking for a song. So if you got any suggestions for a song of a podcast of this particular podcast, say it in the comment section because I want to kind of listen to it. But I'm looking for different songs, obviously for the podcast, rap, rock, hip hop, anime theme songs too. Just because I just love anime. But basically, I've actually found cover. This cover from one of the my favorite anime. So if you know the anime, you definitely gang, man. You're definitely part of the crew. So let me play the cover so you can kind of listen to it and hear it. This is a cover by Jonathan Young. And he did a badass job with this song. So let me go ahead and play it. It's my first time hearing it. It was my first time hearing it. So definitely we'll go ahead and play it. So let's kind of listen to it. And that song was dope. Yeah, so that's the actual song that I'm listening to, man. It's a dope ass solo song, and it's obviously the cover for Tokyo Go. So if you never seen Tokyo Go, I'm gonna go ahead and put a actual scene, one of my favorite scenes, and I think this is one of those epic scenes that made me love the show, just because of the emotion. So let's go ahead and put it. So basically, that's my favorite scene, man. If you see how intense the scene is dope, and this is anime, but I think the anime as a whole, that's what it has to offer to you. If you've never seen anime, Definitely give it a try. To me, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I even watched some Sailor Moon stuff. I mean, because it was put in on WB 39, so that was one of the main channels that I used to watch. I even watched Yu-Gi-Oh and all these different shows that are from Japan, on Pokemon, but anime, like fighting anime, like storytelling anime. Even though Pokemon and all those different ones have stories, um, I like the combination of fighting. I like the combination of pain, of dark, the dark aspect of human life, um, incorporated into this different anime. So that's why Tokyo Ghoul is one of my favorite, because it has kind of it's a journey of a kid that doesn't have a mom or doesn't have parents, and eventually he is bitten, and he struggles with who he has become until the end of the I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but basically you'll have to watch it so you can kind of see what I'm saying. But yeah, guys, being Tuesday, I hope you started your Monday right. I hope you started with motivation. Not only motivation, because all that motivation stuff that you might see on the internet can only do so much for you. But I hope you started with a clear slate, with a clear mindset, and with a purpose for the week. Every Monday for me is my Friday. I'm grateful, and I kind of like intentionally have created my schedule that way. So instead of me starting off my week Monday, I actually finish my week on Monday. I kind of have forced myself for the last 2-3 years to kind of work over the weekend. So I feel like I have an edge in that particular aspect of life, where I don't care about the days. So I can work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Days they don't mean nothing to me anymore. But I do tend to stop myself for holidays and things like that, because at that point it's not just about me, it's about the people around me. So I kind of have balanced those things out pretty well in a way, because I do feel that there's certain priorities that you have to respect. I mean, when you have family, when you have a girlfriend, or you have a wife, or you have someone that you have around you, you have to compromise. You have to be able to agree in things, and sometimes you don't agree with things, but you have to be able to kind of like compromise in a way. So, sorry about that. I had to catch my breath. So with that being said, I honestly hope you guys started off your week well, and have a good week, man. Have a good Tuesday. So if you're listening to this, hope you have a good Tuesday. One of the things that I'm gonna start incorporating into the podcast each month, if you can take a look at this, if you're watching the actual version on YouTube, on my hand I have Lynchpin the book, which is a book by Seth Godin. Which is a book that I talked about on the last episode. So there's gonna be a book a month. There's gonna be a book of the month. So you guys can kind of get it, read it, learn from it, apply it, and see what you can actually learn and take from it. At the end of the month, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna kind of share our experiences with it, and kind of get the certain things that you might have grasped from it and apply it to your life. Because I do think that when we read books, if you're someone out there that reads books just to read them, just to have a number, just to collect them, and just to say I read X amount of books, I truly believe we're doing it very wrong. And honestly, with social media, you can get into that cycle of trying to compete to see who reads the more books and things of that nature. Trust me, I was going in that same route until I realized that I'm reading these books, but I'm not grasping the concepts of it. I'm not grasping the concepts. I'm not applying the things that I need to apply to them. I'm not applying and grasping the things and the concepts these books are meant to teach you, because I'm just reading one, then going to the next one, then going to the third one. Sometimes you have to be able to pace yourself with the books, learn from it, maybe sometimes read it again if you don't understand certain concepts, and see how you should be using these things that you're learning. Because trust me, I'm coming from an area where I used to read. I went from basically not reading at all to reading a lot to just trying to read books to collect numbers, meaning that, oh, I can say that I read 3 books in the last month, or I can say I read 5 books in the last 2 months. Whatever that number was, I was just I was just staying focused to the number instead of what I was learning or what I was trying to learn and how those things benefited my life. So nowadays, I don't really just read to read. I read to learn, and I think that when you start to read and you intentionally start to read, you should be trying to learn. You're not supposed to be just going through these books just to say that you're trying to that you read. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not helpful for you, man. It's like you're doing something just to do it, and there's no purpose behind it. So, having said that, we're gonna have, like I said, we're gonna have a book a month, and I hope you read it. The way I'm dissecting the book, I'm just only reading 10 pages a day, each day. Not trying to read too much. Not just the point here is to stay consistent, to be able to have a habit that is a healthy habit that I can actually stay with. I'm not trying to read 30 pages in one day and then the next day I don't read anything, because those are cycles and those are things that you can easily fall into if you're not aware, if you're not intentionally trying to do things how you have set them up. If you don't set things up, sometimes if you don't set things up, you're basically setting yourself up to fail. Like you say, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's the same thing. It's the same concept. So you have to be able to be okay with sometimes planning a little bit ahead of time, and sometimes the planning don't take more than 5 minutes, if that. So yeah, guys, linchpin, Seth Godin. Seth Godin is a really good author. If you've never heard of him, which I don't think you haven't. If you're into reading, I'm pretty sure you know who Seth Godin is. He's a marketing genius. He's written Tribes. He's reading The Purple Cow, I believe. There's another book called Marketers Lie or Liars of Marketers, something like that, and Linchpin. Excuse me. But yeah, guys. So when I was looking for this song, right? So I'm looking for the song and I'm trying to find a song. I ended up listening to this Jonathan Young song cover, but it kind of made me think about the concept of sometimes, don't you wish that you would have watched a show earlier? I was thinking about this because usually that's what happens to me. With Tokyo Go, I remember my cousin was watching this show, and I was like, I don't have time to watch it. And eventually, I ended up watching it, and I was like, dang, I can't believe I've never watched this show until now. The same thing with Death Note. The same thing with what's the other show? What other show? Oh, there was a show, Prison Break. If you ever seen Prison Break, that was a badass show. Sons of the Anarchy. What other shows are out there? There are Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, I didn't finish it. Sons of the Anarchy, I never finished it because it's just too long of a show for me to keep up with it. But when I was watching it, I was like, damn, this is a really good show. So with that being said, I just noticed that they're gonna, on Netflix, I think just signed a contract with the cast of That 70 Show. And that's one of the shows that I wished I would have watched earlier. Honestly, I didn't watch this show until maybe like 5 years ago. So this show is really good. And when I was young, I would just jump through the channels through that show. Like, I didn't care for it. I didn't care about the show. I thought it was a English soap opera. Like, I didn't think it was funny. I didn't even think it was comedy. Like, I remember going through the channels looking for cartoons. And every time this show was playing on replay, on repeat. But I never stopped to watch the show. So it made me think about it, and I'm like, damn, like this show, I wish is one of the shows that I kind of like would have started to watch when I was younger. But some of the concepts, obviously, like the weed concept and things like that, is just like, it's funny, man. Like, it is a really laid back show. It's funny. And if you haven't seen that 70 show, you gotta go watch it. I mean, I think it's a funny show. I think it's something that it's kind of corny in a way, but I like the environment of family oriented people. And I think that's the thing with me and shows. I like to watch shows that actually show the family and the friendship concept. Another show that I really love and that I wish that I would have watched earlier was Friday Night Lights. I remember watching Friday Night Lights when I was younger, and I was always trying to keep up with it, but back then they didn't have DVRs and nothing like that, and if they did, my mom we couldn't afford it. So I will always try to catch the show on, I believe it used to come out in either ABC or something like that. But I never could catch it because I never got the times right. But that show was dope, man. If you go and watch that show, you'll see that some of these actors, when they were younger, like I think Michael B. Jordan comes out in season 5 or season 4, something like that. But that's one of his earlier jobs that kind of was a big thing, you know. But that's another show that I wish I would have watched when I was younger. But going back to that 70s show, the reason I thought about it is like, because I saw the headline about Netflix signing that 70s show and the entire cast to come back and do the entire show, and now it's going to be called That 90s Show. But then there was a headline at the bottom that one of the cast members is not going to be able to come back. And I was like, who's not coming back? And you know, with actors, you usually just know the actor based on the actual character they're playing. You don't know them as their actual real name. So I went ahead and went into it, and I was like, damn, hi. Like, I didn't know you was running around like this, you know? So I read the thing, and I was like he's actually been accused of rape by 3 different women in 3 different time periods. And I'm like, that's crazy. For someone that has success, but I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's like, it's crazy to me when people get themselves in circumstances like that, because usually it's something that has to do with sexual harassment, with rape, with trafficking, with things of that nature, and it's insane. Another one that I enjoyed, that I loved a lot, that I watched this show when I was young, is Smallville. I watched that show. I really liked it. Never did I think it was about Superman, to be honest, until I got older. But when I was younger, I loved that show. I loved the characters. Lana, I had a big crush on Lana. If you know what Smallville is like, you know who Lana is. If not, go check it out. Definitely recommend it as well. If you're into superheroes, if you're into storytelling, and just separate different kind of like adventure type of shows, definitely Smallville is a good one. But yeah, guys, that's the things that I wanted to, that's what I wanted to talk about, because I was thinking about this damn song, and I was like, they made me think about different things, and sometimes you don't know how we get into things, but we get into them, and we start thinking about it, and we start looking more into it, and I'm like, you run and you jump into the rabbit hole. But yeah, guys, this week, certain things that are going on this week, if you're not aware of it, obviously, sports. Let's start off with sports. Usually I go to the unbiased source of ESPN, and you know that's not true, but I still go to ESPN. Why? Because sometimes I just go there for the scores, and I've been going here for since I was young, so it's just like, it's been a habit of just me going there. But I am aware of Bleacher Report and all these different ones that are better better sources. But I'm still loyal to ESPN. So NBA, the NBA. Let's see what happened tonight because I didn't even watch it. So it seems like Phoenix won 121 to 114, and Miami Heat won 106 to 92. So honestly, guys, I don't think the 76ers are going to win this series unless Embiid gets back. Why? Because Embiid is currently injured, and I think that the Heat has the better overall team, has the better chemistry. Even if James Harden plays, James Harden is not known for a playoff team. Tell me, man. Tell me about this because I am and have been a loyal Houston Rockets fan since I was a child. Since those Steve Francis, Katina Mobley, Yao Ming, and T-Mac, and all these different players that came to the Houston Rockets since those days. And we had Harden for a long time, but he's never been the guy in the playoffs. So Miami 106-92 is not surprising, and more so because Embiid is injured. So unless Embiid comes back in Game 2 or Game 3, which seems to be the time frame that he'll take for him to come back, I don't see them winning. Phoenix, obviously, CP3, man. CP3, he was here in Houston. I honestly thought that they could have won the championship if he wasn't injured. But we don't live in ifs or what ifs or things of that nature. But I honestly hope that he can stay healthy, man. He's 36, I think. I don't know how old he's. But he's in his late 30s, but he's still balling. Like the last game he had like 14 for 14 and just closed out the series. Let me take a look at the stats for this game today. Let's see. So he actually had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And let's see how many turnovers he had. He only had 1 turnover. That's a beast. That's one of the most important things to look at. I think like that's one of the most underrated stats, the turnovers, and I think that's why Westbrook kind of has been exposed in a way, because he's a turnover machine. But CP3, 19, 5, 3, even a block. That's crazy. And only 1 turnover. That's a really good game, solid game. So they go 1-0. I also know that Grizzlies. I believe the Grizzlies won yesterday. Well, not yesterday, Sunday. Not the Grizzlies won. I'm sorry, they lost. Because I did see the last play. They lost by a point. To Stephen Curry's Warriors. I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna be the Suns versus Golden State on the final for the West. Just because the experience. I think that the experience that the Golden State Warriors have now that they got Klay Thompson back, Damon Green didn't even play the first game because I think he got ejected. But I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how. And it's crazy how the Golden State they got him back into the playoffs, how fast they got him back into the contention for the title after KD left them, and also after Klay Thompson got injured. So it's been a quick turnaround for them, and I think they're a very strong team. And as long as you have Stephen Curry killing them with those 3 shots, and you have Draymond Green playing defense, being a facilitator, being the rebounding, being like a Rodman type of player, he'll be good. He'll be good, and he'll be very helpful for the Warriors. In the East side, I do see the Bucks winning it, just because Giannis, man, like. Even with the Celtics having a good overall defense, even with the Celtics having Tatum, having Brown, even having a good defensive player with Smart, and even Horford has kind of came back with the Celtics. He was forgotten about for a little bit when he went and played in Oklahoma, and I think he was in a different team before going back to the Celtics. But I truly think that even though the Celtics have a good defensive team, it's not gonna be enough to stop Giannis. I mean, Giannis is the best player in the game right now, just because. And it's crazy because he's not even a 3-point shooter, but he's still so dominant that he's killing everybody right now. So he's gonna take them to the final, and when they go against the Heat, I think Giannis is gonna take it again. So the finals, my prediction, I'll give it to you next week, not this week. I think that we can wait on that. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but for the series, I do see Golden State going against on the finals against the Phoenix Suns, and then on the other side we got Miami against the Bucks. Another thing, guys, we do have Cinco de Mayo going on this week. If you're Mexican, I mean, even though it's not that's one thing like I learned, and I thought it was the independence of Mexico, but as you obviously grow up and you surround yourself with Mexican people, I have Mexican friends and things of that nature, they tell you, hey, it wasn't the independence of Mexico, it was just like the battle between a battle in one of their states or one of their cities. I think it was one of the states in Mexico. So this happens to celebrate it, but Cinco de Mayo here is celebrated as a whole. So happy Cinco de Mayo, I guess. So having said that, I'm looking forward to the fight that's going to happen with Canelo and this other guy. I say this other guy because I have no idea who he's fighting. I don't follow boxing 100% like that. I only know like the main events. Like I did see the Spencer fight, which against that other guy that he fought, that he literally messed up. If you didn't see it, man, you got to see that fight, because he literally like game planned that fight the whole time, and at the end of the day, he like destroyed that guy's face. Like, you should have seen his eye. He literally only had one eye. But Canelo, let's take a look. Canelo. Also, I do know the guy is Russian, I believe. So Canelo versus Dmitry Bivol. So Canelo right now, man, no cap, man, he's gonna be at the top of the round for another 5 years. Why? Because yes, the medicine now, the techniques now, all the different resources that athletes have nowadays is insane. It's insane, and I think he's one of those boxers that's very dedicated to his craft. And even though he's been able to attain all the accolades, being able to attain different championships and everything like that, the dude is still humble. I don't understand what's the hate towards Canelo. Like, a lot of people hate on him. I have no idea why, but they hate on him. And when I look at it, I'm like, dude, like, this is one of the best boxers in the history of the sport. And just, yes, he does have a loss against Mayweather, but he was very young when he fought Mayweather. So if they would have fought around this time, and let's put prime Mayweather and prime Canelo, I think Canelo would have beat him, to be honest, because what Canelo has, and I think, maybe not, who knows, but I think after the fight that Canelo and Mayweather had, Canelo actually find a way to kind of improve his defense and his mobility around the ring and his awareness, mixing it with that Mexican style type of fight. And I think that loss actually helped him become the superstar that he is now. And I think he has said that in some of his interviews, where he said that if he would have won against Mayweather, it would have gone into his head, and maybe he wouldn't have been the person, or he wouldn't have had the career that he currently has. Because he would have been on the top of the world. He would have just been the best, at that moment, the best boxer ever at a young age. So I think there's some real thing to it, some reality to that. So honestly, just by looking at this, I think Canelo's going to win, obviously. But, I don't know who Dmitry Bivol is. I don't follow boxing like that. It says Canelo. Let me see. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, honestly, Canelo Alvarez jumps from weight to weight, and I think like from pound to pound boxer, he's one of the best, if not the best. So we do have that fight going on, and I think it's gonna be a good fight. I mean, honestly, the way that Canelo is fighting right now, I think and I truly believe that he's gonna be able to knock out Vival, unless this dude just goes at him. Like I think nowadays the only way that you can beat Canelo is to go at him, to not let him rest, to not let him go at you. But it's pretty difficult to do that. So let's see what Vival's current, because I don't current, let's see, Vival stats, because I have no idea if he has lost or not. Let's see. So he has 19 wins. Dude is 31 years old. He's got 19 wins, 11 by knockout. Let's see. Wins not a knockout. So I'm assuming he's undefeated. Let's see. So yeah, apparently he is undefeated. So this should be a good one. It should be a good one. So let's see who wins, man. I mean, I'm all for the show, and I hope Canelo wins, though, to be honest, because I do like Canelo, man. The dude is a beast. I don't understand the hate behind Canelo non-supporters, but you're not gonna appeal to everybody. It is what it is. Going on to the next thing. So we got that 70 show coming out. We have the NBA playoffs going on. We also have the Canelo fight going on. Lastly, we have Multiverse, Doctor Strange Multiverse movie. Multiverse of Madness. So, honestly, guys, I hope this movie is good, man. It's been a lot of hype. I've never really been hyped about Doctor Strange. I feel like he's in the same level as Ant-Man. I'm not a big Ant-Man supporter or like fan or whatever. But they kind of have made him be one of the top guys now that Tony Stark is no longer part of the picture. So I think that it should be good. It should be a good movie. It's a PG-13 movie. At first, I thought it was gonna be a horror movie. So it still might be a horror movie, but let's see why are they making this movie. Are they considering it a horror movie? Let's see, Doctor Strange horror movie. So yeah, it seems like they're considering it the first horror movie. So you know me, I love horror, so hopefully it is horror, like whatever type of horror it is. I see some of the I guess screenshots and kind of the photography they had, where one of the photographies that came out or that was leaked or whatever, he looked like he was a zombie. So anything with zombies, I love it. So we'll see how this movie does, and hopefully it's good. If you're excited about the new MCU phase, which I really don't know much about it because I haven't done my research with it, but I do know and have heard and have read a little bit of them doing the new phase and things of that nature. Shit, like, tell me what do I need to know about that, because I have no idea. I'm honestly lost with the MCU. And honestly, when the whole MCU thing happened with Thanos and all of that, I love Infinity War, and I think that was the best movie ever. So when Endgame came up, I was very much looking forward to it, but I got disappointed. I think I'm one of those persons that is like, because I've seen it online too, where a lot of people think that Infinity War is better than Endgame. So if you're one of those persons that thinks Endgame is better than Infinity War, or Infinity War is better than Endgame, just let me know, man, because I am an Infinity War is better than Endgame person. My brother loves Endgame. He said he loved it how it finished. I'm not so much, because to me it was a little bit predictable. All the characters was gonna come and all this stuff and all of that, all the epic fight, but I really enjoy the how the Infinity War movie left you in a cliffhang. It left you with anticipation, looking forward to the next one. And I guess they cannot keep doing that because they have to finish it. They have to finish the entire story of 10 years. So it is what it is. I mean, but yeah, guys. I mean, I think haven't talked about this, thinking about this, and I mean, I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing right now. These post-its, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the next maybe 2 hours, and then call it a night. If you join me today, please leave a message in the comment section so I can take a look at it and I can see where we're gonna go from here, because I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. If you have a suggestion of what song I should use for the pod, let me know as well. But I have an idea of what I'm going to do on. Maybe I start doing 2 episodes a week. I don't know yet, but I definitely want to always do one at the beginning of the week so I can kind of update, say what's up to you guys, and just keep moving forward. Because life and everything that we got going on, and it seems like we're slowly getting out of the COVID pandemic kind of mindset, because I see more things, more people are like, we're going into the summer, and more people are like, their mind is somewhere else now, which is a good thing. Honestly, I'm happy about that. But you have to live life with a positive output and a positive mindset. But that does not mean that you're going to be blind to the negatives and the flaws and the things in life that are not good. You can't be blind to that. If you believe in the good, you believe in the bad as well. You should be able to believe in the bad as well. It's like there's a positive, there will always be a negative. There's a dichotomy of both things, so you have to be able to understand what that means. But yeah, guys, if you have concepts, ideas about what to talk about next, let me know. Leave it down in the comment section. I highly advise you, get you a book, man. If you don't have to be this book, man, but this is the book for me for this month. You don't have to be this one, but get you a book. Start reading something self-helpful so you can become better, so you can start learning things. And trust me, you might not like reading. That's fine. But maybe start reading 2 pages a day, maybe 1 page a day, wherever you have to start, just start doing it. Because it's like every time I find something and I read something, and it's something I've never heard of, or I never like really thought about certain concepts that way, is like a new thing to me, and it kind of excites me because I'm willing to apply that to my life in that immediate point. But yeah, guys, I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, and I appreciate you for joining me today. See you on the next one. Take care.